Chosen ones, something has been blocking the flow of your blessings, not from the outside, but from deep within. You felt it like a weight, a silent resistance, a force that keeps you circling the same patterns even though you know you're meant for more. This blockage isn't luck, it isn't karma, it's not the fault of destiny or the world around you, it is energetic, mental, spiritual. And unless it's removed, your path forward will stay clouded, no matter how much effort or prayer you give. In this video, we're not talking about the usual advice or surface-level obstacles. We're diving into the kind of inner block spoken of in ancient Shaolin teachings, the kind that almost no one talks about, the kind that even the strongest warriors and awakened souls can overlook. Today, I'm going to guide you through the hidden forces keeping your blessings at bay. You'll discover how your energy leaks, your attachments, and even your silence have been working against your destiny. You'll learn what the masters knew about cleansing your inner space so that the flow of life, opportunity, and divine timing can finally break through. Stay with me until the end. Because the moment you understand this hidden barrier and remove it, you'll witness things shift faster than you ever thought possible. Blessings that were held back will rush in like water breaking through a dam. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If you're ready to align your inner world and unlock what's been waiting for you all along, subscribe now. This journey begins within. There's a truth every Shaolin master knows. You cannot receive what your heart is not ready to hold. In the temple, we are taught that the body is a vessel, but the mind and spirit are the water that fills it. When the water is clear, the vessel reflects light easily. But when the water is clouded with anger, sorrow, or unresolved pain, light cannot pass through. This is what we call inner clutter. It's not the mess on your desk or the noise in your surroundings. It is the emotional residue you've never sat with, the trauma you never understood, only buried, the anger you breathed in but never released. These aren't just feelings, they are blockages in your spiritual bloodstream. Shaolin monks don't ignore their pain. They sit with it, not to suffer, but to purify. A wound unseen festers in silence, but a wound accepted begins to heal. That is the principle of inner purity. We've seen strong warriors collapse beneath the weight of unspoken memories. We've seen calm seekers erupt in rage from a single unhealed scar. And we've seen humble students discover enlightenment only after they emptied what didn't belong in them anymore. Anger, when left unchanneled, turns inward. It poisons clarity. Trauma, when hidden, builds silent walls against abundance. Emotional residue, like the dust of forgotten battles, clouds the mind's mirror. When your inner space is cluttered, blessings knock but find no room. To live in alignment, you must cleanse not only the body, but the unseen places of your spirit. The heart becomes free only when it's no longer full of yesterday's storms. The Shaolin way is not perfection, it is purification. The blessing is waiting, but the path must first be cleared. In the stillness of the Shaolin courtyard, a student once asked his master, "Why does pain follow me even when I chase freedom?" The master replied, "Because you chase with closed fists." Attachment is the oldest chain. It is invisible, yet it binds the strongest warriors to memories, emotions, and identities that no longer belong to them. In Buddhist teaching, attachment is the root of suffering, not because what we hold is bad, but because we refuse to let it go when its time has passed. We cling to people who once supported us, even when their season in our life is over. We hold on to beliefs that once protected us, even when they begin to limit us. We define ourselves by old stories, unaware that they were meant to be chapters, not prisons. This is the illusion of control. We think holding on means safety, but in truth, holding on is what keeps us stuck. A handful of past cannot receive the gifts of the present. A mind full of yesterday cannot hear the guidance of today. The ancient monks trained their hearts to release with discipline. They learned that mastery isn't about possession, it's about flow. The river becomes powerful not because it holds the water, but because it moves it. When you cling, your blessings circle around you, waiting for space. When you release, space is created, and blessings rush in. It takes courage to let go. It takes mastery to trust that what leaves is not a loss, but a clearing. In detachment, the self becomes light. In letting go, the soul returns to its natural state, open, free, and worthy of more than it once settled for. The chosen one's path isn't about gripping tighter, it's about learning when to release. In the depths of the Shaolin temple, there is a quiet practice that looks like stillness but feels like freedom. It's called mindful detachment, a way of seeing the world without trying to grip it into permanence. Mindfulness isn't about escaping the world or suppressing emotions. It teaches us to witness everything, joy, pain, desire, fear, without losing ourselves in it. Like clouds passing in a vast sky, emotions come and go. The sky is not changed by their presence or their absence. Detachment is often misunderstood as indifference, but the true meaning is far deeper. It is the art of caring without collapsing. It is loving without clinging. It is showing up fully without turning another person or outcome into the source of your worth. Unhealthy emotional dependency drains your spiritual energy. When you depend on someone else's approval, when your peace rests on external conditions, your inner world becomes unstable. Your blessings can't flow toward you because your energy is tied up in fear, in control, in scarcity. The ancient masters knew this well. They taught that gratitude without attachment is the highest form of presence. When you can appreciate what is here without needing to possess it, you create room for more to enter. Detachment isn't a rejection of life. It's a disciplined embrace of it without resistance. Mindful detachment makes space. Space for clarity, space for new opportunities, space for blessings that could not land when your heart was already crowded with what you refused to release. The world doesn't ask you to stop feeling, it asks you to stop binding yourself to what can never stay. When you practice mindful detachment, you stop gripping life, and instead you start receiving it. Energy is not just physical strength, it is the unseen force that shapes your intentions, your presence, and your destiny. In Shaolin teachings, the concept of qi is sacred. It is your life force, your spiritual fuel. And just like water flowing through a cracked vessel, your qi can leak without you even knowing. These leaks don't always look dramatic. Sometimes they appear as small habits, gossip that feels harmless, thoughts that spiral without purpose, words you speak just to be liked, or routines you repeat even though they disconnect you from your true path. Every one of these is a thread pulling at your energy. The masters understood a powerful truth. Not all battles are fought with swords. Some are fought with silence, with stillness, with self-awareness. When you spend your days overthinking, you are fighting ghosts. When you spend your breath in gossip, you drain your spirit. When you say yes to avoid being disliked, you betray your own alignment. This is why discipline is more than physical training. It is an energetic responsibility. The Shaolin path demands that you guard your qi like a sacred resource. You speak with intention so you don't waste your breath. You act from clarity so you don't scatter your power. You think with purpose so your mind becomes a temple, not a battlefield. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you reclaim your energy. Every time you honor your inner rhythm instead of pleasing others, your qi strengthens. When your power is protected, your blessings no longer slip through unseen cracks. A vessel without leaks fills faster. A heart without distractions receives deeper. Your energy is not meant to be spent on noise. It is meant to be channeled into purpose, presence, and peace. There's a strange and quiet battle that happens inside many who are destined for greatness. It's the moment when the blessing finally arrives, an opportunity, a relationship, a breakthrough, and instead of embracing it, the chosen one pushes it away. Not with force, but with fear, with doubt, with disbelief. This is self-sabotage, and it often happens long before we realize it. The ancient teachers understood a deep truth. You cannot receive what you secretly believe you don't deserve. If your heart still whispers, "I am not enough," then no matter what blessings come, they will feel uncomfortable, even unsafe. And you will retreat from what was sent to uplift you. In Shaolin practice, the first battle is not fought with the world. It is fought within. A warrior must face not only physical opponents, but invisible ones. Beliefs buried from childhood, wounds sealed under strength, stories spoken by old pain. These inner ghosts shape behavior, and they sabotage divine timing in ways that seem logical on the outside but are rooted in ancient hurt. A chance comes, and you hesitate. A path opens, and you delay. Not because you're lazy, but because somewhere a voice says, I said not ready, I said not worthy. But worthiness is not earned, it is remembered. Self-sabotage is the shadow self's way of protecting you from perceived danger. It thinks rejection hurts less if you are the one to walk away first. Yet in doing so, it blocks the very blessings you've prayed for. Divine timing is perfect, but it aligns only when the inner world agrees with the outer gift. Heal the root, and the fruit can finally be received. The blessing is not waiting on time, it is waiting on you to believe you are worthy of it. In the Shaolin temple, every movement has meaning, every breath has intention. The body is not seen as separate from the mind or spirit. It is the vessel that carries both. A misaligned body creates a misaligned energy field, and even the most awakened mind can feel blocked when the vessel is ignored. This is why the masters trained not just for combat but for harmony. To them, a rigid spine means a rigid spirit. A troubled breath reflects a troubled mind. When the body is stressed, neglected, or worn down, the spiritual flow becomes sluggish, like a river trying to force its way through stones. You may meditate for hours, you may pray with sincerity, but if the foundation of your being, the body, is filled with tension, your energy cannot rise. Spiritual clarity starts with physical cleansing. This is not vanity, it is alignment. Posture is a silent prayer. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you breathe, these are all expressions of your internal state. In Shaolin discipline, breathwork is medicine. Movement is meditation. A single deep breath becomes a bridge between the mind's chaos and the body's calm. The ancient practice of standing meditation teaches this well. The body stands firm like a mountain, but the spirit flows freely like wind. As the breath expands, every cell awakens. The body becomes a temple, not of perfection, but of presence. Your blessing can only enter when the doors are open, and sometimes the door is your physical being. Stretch, breathe, align. Liberate the body, and the spirit will rise with it. In stillness, find strength. In motion, find alignment. The more you honor the vessel, the more clearly your inner light can shine through. In the quiet moments before dawn, a Shaolin master once asked his student, "Who are you?" The student began to answer with titles: son, fighter, survivor. The master shook his head. "No," he said. "Those are clothes you wear. I said masking who you are when even those fall away." The greatest deception does not come from the world. It comes from within. It is the false identity we build around our past, our pain, our failures, and the labels we reluctantly accept. Broken, unlucky, not enough. Each one is a mask, and every mask becomes a wall between you and your blessings. The ancient masters taught that the self is fluid, not fixed. You are not who you were last year, or even yesterday. The spirit is always expanding, evolving, renewing itself through experience. But when the mind clings to old definitions, the spirit cannot move. You live in a story that has already ended, while the next chapter waits untouched. This is the blessing block of false identity, believing that what happened to you is the same as who you are. Carrying the past like a name tag, calling yourself by wounds instead of wisdom. The universe does not withhold blessings. You turn away from them when you believe you don't belong in the new life they require. Release the idea of who you think you are. That version served its purpose, but it is not the whole of you. Mastery begins when you stop trying to protect your past and start stepping into your potential. In every breath, you are becoming. In every choice, you are creating. What you call yourself shapes what you allow yourself to receive. Let go of the false names. Your true self has been waiting to rise beyond them. In the early hours of the temple, the courtyard is empty, yet alive with presence. The students move, yet the master remains still. Many watch and think, why does he do nothing? But this is not inaction. This is the power of silence. Silence is often mistaken for weakness. The world rewards noise, words spoken, battles fought, attention claimed. Yet the Shaolin masters teach the opposite. True strength is not in constant expression, it is in the depth of stillness. In silence, the mind settles, the heart speaks, the spirit aligns. Every thought, every worry, every emotional pull creates friction in the energy body. Left unchecked, this friction blocks blessings, obscures clarity, and clouds the path. But silence acts like water on stone. Mindful silence dissolves noise, dissolves distraction, dissolves the knots within. What was tangled becomes clear. What was heavy becomes light. In silence, the truth surfaces. You see the patterns you could not notice when shouting or reacting. You sense the intentions that lie behind your own desires and fears. The world may seem to move without pause, but in the quiet, the chosen one finds the rhythm that connects all things, the flow of energy, the timing of opportunities, the alignment of fate. The masters trained for years to sit without speaking, to breathe without tension, to observe without judgment. This discipline is not punishment, it is liberation. Each moment of stillness is a clearing of space for blessings to enter. When the mind is silent, the soul becomes audible. When the heart rests, the spirit awakens. Silence is not absence, it is presence, and in this presence, what has been blocked can finally move. In the quiet halls of the temple, a student approached his master with anger heavy in his chest. "Master, how do I deal with those who have wronged me?" he asked. The master's eyes were calm. "By forgiving," he said. The student frowned. "But they do not deserve it." The master nodded. "Then forgive for yourself, not for them." Forgiveness is one of the deepest tools of spiritual mastery. It is not about excusing the actions of others or pretending harm did not happen. It is about reclaiming the energy that resentment has stolen from you. Every grudge held, every memory of injustice replayed in your mind, drains your vitality. It anchors blessings just beyond reach, like a door blocked by a weight too heavy to move. The ancient Shaolin masters taught that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting your enemy to fall ill. Resentment festers in the mind and body, clouding judgment, disturbing peace, and slowing the flow of qi. True forgiveness releases this burden. It does not erase memory or deny experience. It simply removes the control the past holds over your present. Forgiveness is discipline. It is a deliberate act of letting go, a conscious choice to free your spirit. When the heart forgives, the energy field expands. Space opens for blessings that were trapped by your own attachment to pain. Your mind becomes lighter, your body steadier, and your spirit capable of receiving what was always meant for you. To forgive is not weakness, it is strength beyond measure. The river flows because it does not cling to the stones in its path. So too, the spirit flows when it releases the weight of grudges. In that flow, clarity rises, opportunity arrives, and the soul moves unburdened into the blessings waiting quietly for its freedom. Chosen ones, the path to your blessings has never been outside of you. Nothing in the world can block what is meant for you. Only the weight, clutter, and unresolved patterns within can stand in the way. Every thought you release, every attachment you loosen, every moment of mindful presence you practice clears the space for what has been waiting patiently for you. Simplify your life. Honor your energy. Master your inner world. These are not tasks. They are practices of awakening. As you walk this path, you will notice the subtle shifts: clarity, where there was confusion, peace, where there was tension, and opportunities appearing as if the universe itself has opened a door just for you. The moment you remove the inner blocks, the blessings flow effortlessly. They do not push. They do not force. They arrive in perfect timing, carrying the gifts of growth, abundance, and alignment. Your inner work is the key, and it is more powerful than any external force. Take this teaching into your daily life. Observe, release, and act with intention. Your spirit, your energy, and your presence are sacred vessels. Protect them, nurture them, and watch as the world responds in kind. Thank you for joining this journey today. If you are ready to deepen your awareness, Clear your path and embrace the blessings that are meant for you. Subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire. Let us continue together in stillness, discipline, and mindful mastery. Your path awaits, and the moment to step forward is now.